Hey Triangle Lax fans, it's Damien here with your Week 2 Top 10 presented by Crank Shooter. Fighting off a cold here, so bear with us as we get through this one. There was a lot of top 10 action in Week 2, and you're definitely going to see some shakeups in the polls as a result. Let's kick it off with the girls' top 10 and new entrant at number 10, Holly Springs. Holly Springs stands 4-0 on the year after beating previous number 10 Athens Drive 9-8 and Fuquay Varina. In Week 3, they will have 3 games in just as many days, culminating in a top 10 matchup with Apex Friendship. At number 9 is Broughton High School. The Lady Caps even their record to 1-1 with a win over Cary High School in Week 2. They will play on the road twice against Enloe and Leesville in Week 3. Down one spot to number 8 is Apex Friendship. The Patriots split Week 2 with a win over Terry Sanford and a loss to Middle Creek. Week 3 brings 2 top 10 matchups against Apex and number 10 Holly Springs. Up 1 to number 7 is Durham Academy. The Cavaliers won big in Week 2 against R.J. Reynolds and Chapel Hill, but lost to Hockaday out of Texas. Durham Academy is off in Week 3. Down 2 spots to number 6 is Apex. The Cougars lost a heartbreaker to Middle Creek in Week 2 before bouncing back with a win against Terry Sanford. The Cougars play Apex Friendship and Garner in Week 3. Holding strong at number 5 is Panther Creek. The Catamounts were finally able to get on the field in Week 2 with a win over Leesville Road. Week 3 has a full slate for Panther Creek as they play 2 conference games against Athens Drive and Green Hope before welcoming Charlotte's Myers Park. Up 2 spots to number 4 is Middle Creek. The Mustangs have established themselves as the early queens of Apex after taking down the Cougars and the Patriots in Week 2. They will play Sanford, Fuquay Varina, and Myers Park in Week 3. Dropping 1 spot to number 3 is East Chapel Hill. The Wildcats went 2-1 in Week 2 and face another 3-game week coming up in Week 3 with games against Rollsville, Jordan, and Wakefield. At number 2 is Ravenscroft. The Ravens have started their season 2-0 with 2 wins in 2 days in Week 2. In Week 3, the Ravens face off against Chapel Hill. Holding strong at number 1 is Cardinal Gibbons. The Crusaders had their 53-game in-state win streak broken by Charlotte's Weddington 10-9 on Friday night. Gibbons did bounce back on Saturday by beating South Regional number 6 Hockaday out of Texas 9-8 to improve to 2-1. This week they will host Conference Froze Sanderson before traveling to Florida to play Vero Beach and Lake Highland Prep. That wraps it up for the girls' top 10 for Week 2. Lots of top 10 matchups coming up in Week 3, so expect more shuffling in next week's edition. The Triangle Lax Top 10 is brought to you by Crank Shooter. Visit crankshooter.com and use the promo code TRIANGLE to get 5% off any order $50 or more. That's promo code TRIANGLE at crankshooter.com. Now on to the boys. Week 2 proved to be a big one on the boys' side as well, with some shuffling going on and some new entrants. Starting off at number 10 is Ravenscroft. The Ravens started their 2019 campaign with 3 wins against Cannon School, Charlotte Latin, and West Forsyth out of Georgia. This week they will play Greensboro Day and Charlotte Country Day. At number 9 and making their first appearance on the top 10 is Heritage. The Huskies split a couple of top 10 games in Week 2, defeating Athens Drive but losing to Leesville. Week 3 has a showdown with Northwood on hand. At number 8 is Leesville. The Pride improved to 3-1 in Week 2. After losing to conference foe Cardinal Gibbons, they rebounded with wins over Athens Drive and Sanderson. Week 3 brings 2 big matchups against Millbrook and Broughton. At number 7 is Holly Springs. The Golden Hawks opened their season with a 13-9 conference victory over Fuquay Varina. They have a full slate of games in Week 3, including Wakefield, Garner, and Apex Friendship. At number 6 is East Chapel Hill. The Wildcats had a full slate of games in Week 2 and went 3-0, besting opponents by a combined 34-17, including a double overtime thriller against previous number 10 Athens Drive. At number 5 is Broughton. The Capitals cruised to victories over Panther Creek and Southeast Raleigh in Week 2. Conference matchups against Enloe and number 8 Leesville loom in Week 3. At number 4 is Wakefield. The Wolverines have yet to hit the field in 2019. So far, they've been shut out by the weather. Looking at matchups against number 7 Holly Springs and Coastal Power Hoggard for Week 3. At number 3, we have Apex. The Cougars lost a tough one to then number 3 Middle Creek before rebounding with a win against West Forsyth from Georgia over the weekend. 2 conference games against Apex Friendship and Garner are on the slate for Apex in Week 3. Holding at number 2 is Cardinal Gibbons. Cardinal Gibbons defeated number 8 Leesville 17-7. They play Cap 7 opponents Sanderson and Millbrook in Week 3. And moving up 2 spots to number 1 are the Middle Creek Mustangs. Middle Creek defeated Apex and lost to a tough Lambert team out of Georgia 6-5 in overtime. They play Apex Friendship and Fuquay Varina in Week 3. That wraps it up for the Week 2 Top 10 presented by Crank Shooter. Stay tuned next week, as I'm sure that with all the games being played in the top 10, there'll be more shakeups going on. Until then, I'm Damian Hall with Triangle X.